is this made? Where is it made? Do you guys pay fair salaries to your workers when you guys are doing these super beautiful luxury bags? The amount of pollution that we are creating, the impact on lives and on the environment that we are having is far too big to actually be looking elsewhere. I was born in Madrid many years ago. I don't think it's going to be taking away your job. It's going to help you make your job faster, more efficient, and probably
go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Talknovate. I'm very excited on this episode and I tried to get a little bit more dressed up because I'm having my first female guest on the Talknovate podcast and her name is Araceli Gallego. Did I pronounce that right?
Gallego. It's a tough one, so it's okay, don't worry.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited because in the tech space is like a male-dominated industry. So I get excited when I see women doing amazing things in this space. And beyond just technology, you're also a fashion designer. You have a sustainable living platform marketplace called Go Shop Here, which is also the name of your clothing brand. And you're one of the organizers of the Fashion Revolution Week.
Fashion Revolution,
Yeah, can you tell me about that? Because, for those of you who don't know me personally, I'm also a fashion model. So I'm really excited to have her here on the show today.
And you're amazing as a model, I must
you.
say.
Thank you.
So, okay, how do we start? Okay, let's see. Like, just recently, we did the Fashion Revolution Week. So maybe we start with Fashion Revolution.
Let's start with that. Yeah.
Many people don't know what Fashion Revolution is. Fashion Revolution is a not-for-profit.
Okay.
It's international. The headquarters is in the UK. And it started when the Rana Plaza collapse happened. I don't know if you heard the story.
I didn't hear about that.
Okay, so there was in Bangladesh, there was a factory, a manufacturing facilities.
Okay.
And terrible things happened there. The whole thing collapsed. They built more floors than what they should.
Wow.
They were having people working there under really, really bad conditions. And eventually there were too many cracks. People were scared of going there. They also had a very system to control what you are allowed and what you are not as a garment worker. So you are kind of like working in a cage kind of a thing. So they will have the bathrooms locked and you are only allowed to go if you finish your quota and this kind of thing. So you're kind of like, you cannot go unless you have done your part kind of a thing. So the workers were very scared of going. Still they went, some of them, and the building collapsed and it killed thousands of people and injured thousands of people. And that was a huge, the building collapse and everybody's trying to help and try to rescue the people out of the rubble. And they were garment workers from, so all the fashion brands they were taking out is actually fast fashion brands.
Wow.
The truth is that the supply chain in fashion is very fragmented and it's long. It's not like before that you knew you would go to the seamstress will do the clothes for you. It's far too long. You may go to the mall and buy from any of the fast fashion brands, but they are not necessarily the ones manufacturing. There is another manufacturer that subcontracts the work, that subcontracts, and at the end you end up having
a whole chain.
A whole chain. And you may lose control of it. Also, there is as there is so many middle people, not middle companies in the process. Everybody needs to have their part, and they become it's very difficult for them, basically. There is a lot of pressure.
Okay, so did that inspire the fashion
This is what
revolution?
inspired that accident.
Okay.
It was like a call to action for our founders, which were Carrie Summers and Ursula de Castro. Amazing woman. We love you. They were the ones really saying like, this can't be. We can't be part of this. Like, because we normally don't know what's behind the scenes. You go to the shop, everything is so glamorous,
like,
so
I love
beautiful.
fashion, and you know, I actually got a little bit dressed up for you today.
Thank you.
But the thing is, we don't see the behind the scenes. We just see a cute outfit, and we don't even know the story behind how it was
and we got numb
manufactured.
also to that, because for a number of years already, fast fashion has been prevalent. So you really don't care. You don't know the names or the faces or the situations that the people that are actually doing your clothes go through, right?
True.
So this is why this movement has started, and I'm very proud to be the country coordinator for the UA. And once a year, the week when the Rana Plaza collapse happened, all the chapters around the world, we get together and we do a whole week of events trying to raise awareness, pay homage to all the people that died and got injured in that terrible accident. There has been other accidents after, and even at this stage they're still but at least we're trying to raise awareness about what is happening. We put pressure on the brands that could do things and change.
And also, like, do they have like safety measures in place for
this is the thing,
the staff as well?
They should. You cannot fashion is still a very manual-driven process. You may have a machinist stitching, but there's a person operating that machine. You need to give proper conditions, proper working conditions in terms of safety, light, of course, bathroom breaks. I mean, these kind of things, it cannot be because you didn't do your quota. It cannot be, oh, you are sick, you don't come to work, you don't get paid this whole week because you're late or whatever. They really are. There's a lot of abuse in the fashion industry behind the scenes. There is a lot of exploitation.
And so that's what Fashion Revolution is trying to
This is what we are trying to bring light and try to change it. And there is different ways to change it. There's regulations, for example, in Europe or chapters in Europe. They can do a little bit of lobbying and policing, and they're helping the governments to support a better fashion. For example, in France, there has been incredible movements on this front. Here, we are not really a producing country. So we are more a consumers country, right? That's why here we focus more on education. If I share with you this, you have more. You know now. Once you know, you cannot unknow, and then you are more armed to make better decisions. Whenever you're going shopping, there are other alternatives. You can go for sustainable fashion brands. There's also slow fashion brands, which are different than sustainable fashion brands. Slow means that it's not mass produced. Means that they are
so is it like haute couture?
Not necessarily. You have also ready, kind of like ready to wear looks, but they are in slow fashion. You do, as a designer, you do small batch. And maybe you do 10 large, 10 medium, 10 small. And then when you see how they are selling. Oh, actually, my clients are more medium. Then I'm going to do more medium. So try to meet the demand. That way there is less waste.
That's amazing. Can you talk about sustainability in the fashion industry? I feel like in recent times, most brands, like beyond even almost industries, have been using the word sustainability. Like, is it a buzzword? Is it just a buzzword? Is it just a PR stunt? Or are there ways that the fashion industry can actually be sustainable? Because I know that you're a big advocate for sustainability.
Even Goshopia was born out of need for this market in particular to be able to, because you go here, where do you go shopping? You go to the malls, and in the malls what you find is fast fashion brands or luxury brands. There's not really small boutiques doing something special, because the retail space is very expensive in this country.
But people are also very fashionable here.
Yes, but then you go either to fast fashion, so you pay peanuts, or you go luxury, and then at least you flaunt a brand.
So can you take us through the process of sourcing your materials to actually like creating the design and bringing it out there in a sustainable way, because I'm very sure there are fashion designers watching us right now and they're hearing the buzzword sustainability, but they're wondering, okay, how can I embed this into my brand? How can I be more sustainable?
Okay.
So can you give like a practical example?
Sure, with pleasure. So there's different words, and as you said, sustainability, it became a buzzword, and it's really sad that it became a buzzword because it's being used to greenwash certain brands that are not sustainable, but it's being used. You know, it's so easy. You just put it in your marketing. You do a green logo or green banner or something, put some leaf in there and say like, we are eco-friendly. We are so sustainable.
True.
And then you need to ask the questions, right? And then once you ask the questions, when you realize actually they're not really sustainable. But that means that you need to ask the tough questions. Initially, and I don't know if you knew this, but I had my own fashion magazine blog, I don't know, whatever we want to call it, and I used to be part of the fashion industry as an editor. That means, you know, I get a lot of invitations to go to all sort of events, and I always need to be not in a zillion years they will see me twice with the same look, because the gram, you know, whatever. So now I'm just the opposite. But anyways, thanks to my magazine, which is Dubai Fashion News, I got invited to the first meetup that Fashion Revolution did.
Okay.
And it was just explanation. So they were really like sharing facts, statistics, and that was very scary.
Yeah.
Like, how? If this is true, it should be all over the news. True. You know what I mean? The amount of pollution that we are creating, the impact on lives and on the environment that we are having is far too big to actually be looking elsewhere. True. So, but I came in denial. You know, like, can't be. Like, I mean, I've been working in this
industry for a long time.
So long. How come I'm a journalist? I don't know about this. You know, like, hello. Well, that was my awakening.
Okay.
So we say, right?
Yeah.
After that, I started researching. It turned out to be true. It shocked me a lot. And I had like an identity crisis. Like, what do I do? Do I keep on supporting this industry that now I'm disgusted of? Because now, you know, you will go to the meetings and the events that they will invite you, and you will be asking the questions that they don't want to hear.
True.
Like, how is this made? Where is it made? Do you guys pay fair salaries to your workers when you guys are doing these super beautiful luxury bags? You know, these kind of things. They don't.
People don't ask those questions.
They don't want to
You just
answer.
want to
just take a pretty
and then
picture and put it in your in your magazine or whatever. You know, like, it's very. So I started changing myself also. I noticed, okay, I don't want to be part of this anymore. So I started transitioning. First I said, I'm going to be buying absolutely nothing for 3 months. I had a very well-stocked closet in any case.
Okay.
So I thought, well, it's going to be hard because you see, you get invited to events, you're all the time. Blah. I did 3 months. I said, you know, I think I can hold. Initially it was hard, especially when you would go to the mall and the eyes would be like, but then you kind of like, okay, no, I don't want this. This is my decision.
Okay.
If I am to buy something, it needs to be something that I believe in.
And that
so I stayed 1 year at the end, not buying anything at all.
Yeah.
1 year. And I think of it as like, wow, that's actually quite long.
Because why didn't you buy anything? Were you trying to like avoid waste?
I was trying to see how long I could go with the closet as it was, to be honest. But then after 1 year, you put on weight, you lose weight, and you realize, okay, actually, I do need to buy clothes. Okay. And then you go back shopping, but asking your questions, you know, like, okay, where is this made? What is the material? La la la. And the answers were like, we don't know. Why do you care? It's very cheap. Take 2. Khalas.
Wow.
So I was like,
so was that why you decided to go into have a sustainable brand?
That's why I decided to create Goshopia in the first place.
Okay.
Because it's like, okay, so more people like me probably on the same journey, and they're going to find very frustrating not being able to find brands that are actually sustainable, that they respect the environment, that they respect people. So I created Goshopia, and it came out with like, okay, our 3 S's or core values, which is slow, which means that it's not mass produced. Sustainable, which means they are, is eco-friendly in terms of materials, biodegradable, or using innovation on the materials. We have amazing leathers, for example, coming up that are super interesting. And then the third is socially responsible. I want brands that are ethical and that they are being responsible with their workers and with the society, because I found out there is a lot of not-for-profits also that the way that they support the not-for-profit is by creating a brand supporting the artisans that maybe are in the region or something. So that's another way you're giving back to society. So that's how the Goshopia came about. And even the name Go Shop Utopia. Go Shop Utopia. I did the pen pineapple apple pen.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
And that's how it came about, the name. And the whole idea was like, if I'm not able to find, and I'm a stubborn person, if I'm not able to find in the whole UAE anywhere I can buy this kind of clothes, nobody can. So I need to create it and facilitate it. And I had contacts within the industry. When I started creating, I started talking here, there, and we need linens, we need organic cottons, we need this, we need that. Started, initially it was not even full brands. Initially it was actually sections of the brands. Like they maybe have, I have, my abayas are not all of them sustainable, but I have this line of eco-viscose. Then we put that.
So you started gradually and then you made it.
And we curated so that even if the whole brand was not sustainable, the products that were allowed in.
Okay, that's amazing. In the recently concluded Fashion Revolution Week in the UAE, you had a panel about AI and its impact on sustainable fashion. So can you talk a bit about artificial intelligence and how it impacts
I'm studying now masters on artificial intelligence.
Oh, amazing.
I really love I think it can really help us improve the whole supply chain. It can help us predict trends. Or altogether don't care about trends anymore, maybe. But it can help us predict in terms of production. It can help us be more efficient whenever we are producing. It can help us create from the designer perspective that you mentioned before. Sorry, I ranted and I didn't answer to your question. But the designers at the moment, even if you don't have maybe a pattern maker, there's some apps. There are AI that you can actually feed what you want, and they can create even the tech packs for you.
Okay, so that's amazing. Before I wrap up, because my producer is already giving me the sign that Ruki, you've been talking for too long. But I want to find out in terms of artificial intelligence. So there's been lots of controversies. People say things like, it's going to take away my jobs. Like even on social media, I've seen some AI generated fashion shows where the designers just, do this like digital runway with AI models with their designs, and they don't even need to use physical models. And I think about sometime last year in Hollywood, there was a strike because there was this big concern about AI taking away jobs of like script writers and actors. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because even if we know that AI is amazing, it can help to increase production. Some people still feel a bit nervous about this technology.
Yes, you see, to me, the way I see it, AI is we are living now history. It's like when the internet came about. You see, now you don't conceive doing your work with a fax and a telephone. No, you don't. It's a tool that you have already. Internet is part of we have it on our phones. A whole ecosystem has been born thanks to us having the internet. With AI, my opinion is going to be the same. We all will end up using it one way or another. It has been already in many things around, like if you have Alexa at home all this is AI
we've
powered.
Had it for a while, but it's just become more mainstream now.
Exactly. I mean, it became really mainstream when it was not part of an artifact or something. With ChatGPT, OpenAI, open the doors and say, go play. That's when everybody like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? And that's why it has been one of the innovations that has gotten so fast implementation by everyone, pretty much. So what I think is like, we are at that pivotal moment. You cannot really give your back to AI.
Yeah.
Because it's going to facilitate most of the jobs nowadays.
Very
So what
true.
you should do, you should embrace it. I don't think it's going to be taking away your job. It's going to help you make your job faster, more efficient, and probably, but you still need to edit the things, you know what I mean?
Definitely. There still needs to be a human at the other end operating it.
It's like a washing machine. It's great. It does wash the clothes, but there's still someone that needs to be pushing the button. There's still someone that needs to be checking that it's proper, it's clean, and then
That's
there's
so
someone,
true.
you know. So it is part of the tools from our belt of tools that we're gonna have to use.
Yeah.
And in certain jobs, the impact is going to be greater. I agree.
Yeah.
In terms of copywriting, for example, has been a huge impact for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like when you have a good copywriter that is able to convey emotions and stuff. Of course, you can train an AI to.
You can train an AI
to do it like that.
But then you still need a human to like
But you still
supervise
are gonna
it.
be needing someone that actually says, yes, this actually moved me on this, you know. So you're still gonna be needing a human on it, on the process.
Okay,
that's
amazing.
my take. So I am all for AI. I think it's a fantastic thing. We also need to be careful. And I think regulation now is okay. It exploded. Now it became mainstream. I think now is the time to regulate it so that it doesn't. Because you see, what happens is that when you have this kind of
emerging technology that's so mainstream use,
you
there's
can use it
also
for the good or you
and
can
the
use
bad.
it for the bad.
Very true.
So that's where I think regulation must come into place. Make sure there is good ethics behind the usage of AI, that it is whatever outcome is able to say no to things. If you say like, please show me how to do a bomb, and it says no, I won't. I'm reporting you to the police. You're crazy.
That's amazing, and I'm hoping there are AI experts that are currently watching us, so they can actually tweak that so that it can actually flag when people are searching or
in
trying
reality,
to use it
at
for
the moment
something
it doesn't,
wrong.
because it kind of like goes into a black box. Let's put it like that.
And just go to big data.
Is
and
there?
just
It
get
is between
information.
you and your ChatGPT, but we should train the AI, and this would be for OpenAI, for Claude, and all Perplexity, DeepSeek, and all them to train the AI to have certain rules and regulations. And I think probably will happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen eventually.
Has to,
yeah,
eventually.
It definitely will happen. Because even like social media, initially there was like the Facebook, and then we have YouTube and other channels. But now, like even governments are trying to regulate like TikTok and other like social media platforms.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, I really would like you to talk about your upbringing, because I know you're Spanish. How did that shape you into the fashion line, e-commerce, and AI that you're currently in?
I had such a zigzag career, to be honest. I was born in Madrid many years ago. But I always loved traveling. So I wanted to study something that will allow me to travel and discover the world, because that was my passion. So I did tourism, and then after that I did a master's in business. And that got me into jobs within the hospitality industry that allowed me to travel, but also allow me to stay whenever I like a destination and grow in the position. So I've been sales manager, I've been procurement manager, I've been project manager.
Wow, you've had a very diverse career.
Yes. I actually got one time an interview with one of the HR recruiters, and she called it, you have a zigzag career, because I was moved by passion, and it's true that I'm a very passionate person. So this is what I love. I get I find a way to do something that makes me happy and works for me.
I really
and then,
love that.
actually, this is actually getting my attention too. I like this. I want to explore this. So from sales, I turned to procurement because it's like, actually, this is really good. I like this. I enjoy. I get to be in very cool projects. And then actually, like, you know what? I want to be project manager. So let me see how I can. So I'm a, how you call it, lifelong learner. I'm all the time studying. There is always something, some course, some masters, on something that I'm on.
No, but that's really amazing, because I was sharing with a friend recently. She saw my CV and she's like, Ruki, you've worked in like everywhere. Like, you're not like the typical person that just stays in one straight part. But I also feel like we all have talents that we owe to the world to explore and put it out there. So I'm really proud of you for that.
And I think actually it's important that we focus also on the skills. More on that, like, I'm an engineer. I had to be my whole life doing engineering. Maybe you're an engineer, but maybe you love theater. Or you know what I mean? Something totally different.
You don't have to be just one thing.
Exactly. We are a diamond. We have a lot of facets and we have a lot of, you know.
Oh my God. I'm so happy you're saying this. I really do feel many people really need to hear this. And especially you being a mother and, you know, you have a family you have to take care of. You're also an entrepreneur and you're learning. Right now, you're currently doing your master's in AI. So you're juggling so much together. And I feel like as women, many times we tend to be put in a box, especially in the community where I come from. I'm Nigerian, and in Africa, like, women tend to be, I don't know how to put it. It's kind of like a misogynistic society where women tend to be encouraged not to like dream big or like go after their passions. So,
but let me tell you one thing. I also lived and worked in Africa and in the Caribbean. And the most amazing women I found were Africans and Jamaicans.
Wow.
They are the backbone of society. The woman is working, is taking care of the family. The husbands come, go, whatever, here. But you always find the woman in the place taking care of family, is the backbone of society. So, and they are so strong. No matter what happens, they're always there. So I actually learn a lot from my years in Africa.
And I can see that you're wearing an African print. I noticed that. I was like, oh my God. Nice.
Yes. This fabric, I bought it in Equatorial Guinea and I created this look. And it got me to France because I won a competition.
You've done
so it got me a free trip to France.
And I'm really impressed. Okay, so finally, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh, wow. That's such a good question.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, that's a very honest answer.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like I have my visions, yes, but I let life flow.
Okay.
I always think that as long as I'm happy, things, things will come my way.
Yeah.
So that's all that matters to me. It may not be here. If I say, I want to be, yes, of course I want that. But at the same time, I stripped all that, and why I want that is because I feel it's going to make me happy. Yeah. So I concentrate only on that emotion. What I want is just to be happy, have my child happy, have my husband happy, live a happy family. Yeah. And that's it, really. The rest all comes along. It may be in Dubai, it may be in New York, it may be in Singapore, it may be whatever. You really don't know.
Yeah.
But in my case, what do I aspire to? Just keep being happy.
Follow your passions.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much. I told myself I wouldn't just bring any guests to this show. It has to be people that are impactful. And even just sitting across from you, I've learned so much, and I'm really inspired by you.
And I learn from you every day. Thank you so much.
And for those of you who don't know, I actually modeled for her last year. So that's how I met her.
But it was in a very special event.
Yes, it was a sustainability forum.
It was a sustainability forum. We had all the ministers and everybody, all the fish in there.
It was a very special event.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me at the event. And thank you for being here on our show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. subscribe.
Yes, subscribe.
Push that button.
Immediately.
Push that bell.
Immediately.
You know, the notifications bell. Push the button.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.